everybody, how you doing? Mikey's back with an alternate dip review. This is an alternate product, no tobacco, no nicotine. Today I am trying Outlaw Southern Sweet Tea. This is made with their Nic Safe nicotine alternative product. Metal plastic can, metal lid with a sticker. It has the Outlaw logo on the front and Southern Sweet Tea and their Nic Safe. No warning label on this because there is no nicotine. On the side, we have got their branding, fat cut, a little write-up about their nicotine alternative, QR code takes you to their website, UPC, a little bit of writing, and an ingredient list. And on the back, there is absolutely nothing on the back. Nothing. There is no expiration date on this stuff, so I have no idea how long this stuff is supposed to last. I don't know. And Nic Safe, aka Nixamide, is a form of vitamin B3 found in food and used as a dietary supplement. This product will give you the same experience as nicotine, but without the negative effects. Your mileage may vary. Personally, I haven't noticed much from this. It's a vitamin B3 blend. A lot of energy drinks use vitamin B3 blends. And the ingredients are black tea leaves, salt, sodium carbonate, saccharin. I don't know why they use saccharin. Saccharin's an artificial sweetener, but it's kind of fallen out of favor in recent decades. I don't know why they're using it. Propylene glycol, natural and artificial flavors, xylitol, which is another artificial sweetener, nixamide, and vitamin E. So, supposed to give you a nicotine buzz without the nicotine. Personally, I haven't really noticed a whole lot from this. Your mileage may vary. You don't really have to spit with this stuff because it's all food grade type ingredients. Back of the can, you got their Outlaw logo and get you a little bit of an idea what it is. This is their Southern Sweet Tea. Yeah. It's not really reminding me of tea, although it's got tea leaves and flavorings. It doesn't. I'm not really getting much of an aroma from it. There is something there, but I can't quite place it. I don't know. It's kind of weird. There's your money shot. They're fat cut. Nice big wide chunky cuts of black tea leaves. Very moist. Very moist. And if it's like the rest of the Outlaw products I have tried, it is very sweet. Outlaw loves his sweet stuff. Now, I've noticed when I've tried this in the past, I have to really get a nice, fat, hard pinch to get it to hold together. Otherwise, I start getting floaters. Yeah, there you go. There's your money shot. Apologize for my fingernails. I've just recently been working on my truck. I drive a 1995 Ford Ranger. Why do I drive a 1995 Ford Ranger? Because it is paid for, and it hasn't died yet. The thing has over 300,000 miles on it. I'm assuming over 300,000 miles. The odometer quit working at 260,000 miles. Sweet. Yes. Now I'm getting the tea flavor. All in all, the other Outlaw products I've tried, they've all been very high on the sweet factor, decent flavor. But for the Nic Safe stuff, for the feeling of nicotine without the nicotine, hasn't really come across to me as such. Like I said, your mileage may vary. Me personally, this is something strictly for flavor. Flavor and mouthfeel. So, I don't really feel any effects from the B3 stuff. Or at least, it doesn't affect me the way nicotine does. So, like I said, your mileage may vary. Some guys say, yeah, they feel it. Me personally, not really. Now you don't have to. You shouldn't have to spit with this because it's black tea and flavorings. So I'm not really gonna bother spitting unless I feel the need to spit. All in all, their products, they're decent. They have a good mouth feel to them and good flavor. But the Nick Safe thing, like I said, for me, it doesn't really come across as nicotine. That same feel you get from nicotine. But like I said, your mileage may vary. Some guys say, yeah, it gives them the nicotine buzz. For me, yeah. This is strictly a flavor and texture type of dip. It does have a really good texture. I will give them that. Their texture is very dip-like. It sits there, holds together well. If you get a nice pinch on it, you pinch it kind of loose, it'll start to fly away on you. I've noticed. But you pinch it down really good, and it will hold together. All in all, decent product. I do appreciate that they have the nice big ingredient list on there. But being black tea leaves plus all their other flavorings and stuff, yeah, it does have a very tea-like, you know, if you like a nice sweet tea like the southern, if you're in the south, they you can order tea, it's going to be sweet. Up here in the Pacific Northwest, you order tea, you have to specify sweet or non-sweet. They give you both options up here. But the times I've been down in the south, pretty much every time you order tea, it's going to be sweet. You ask them for non-sweetened tea, you get a strange look, at least in the places I've been. Yeah, decent flavor. It's very sweet, like I said. The Outlaw stuff is heavy on the sweet side. Every one I've tried so far, they've been almost candy-like in their sweetness. And this one here is no exception. Nice sweetness. It's got the nice tea flavor starting to come through now. Really good. If you enjoy sweet tea and you want that mouthfeel of having some dip in your mouth, yeah, this is definitely worth checking out. But yeah, I was driving home from work the other day in my little truck, and I just passed the one town. I work 2 towns over in Coos Bay. The little town in between here and Myrtle Point is called Coquille, or if you look at it online, it's called Coquille. Everybody says Coquille around here. Just left Coquille, went through the last stoplight, starting to, rev up, go through the gears. I just started losing power. And I'm like, oh crap. My worst fear was, oh great, I lost the clutch. Nope, it wasn't the clutch. It was just power. Managed to limp it off to the side of the road. Got over the side of the road, and it sputtered and died. And I tried to start it back up, and it like you had a dead battery. Oh, okay. I had my wife run over. She's got one of those little jump start things in her car. Jump started it, fired right up. Looked down at the voltmeter on the thing, and it was just a boop, nothing. Oh, great. And about 30 seconds later, it died. Battery was just gone. Checked out my battery. Battery is 12 years old in that little Ranger. It's a 60-month battery, and I got 120 months out of it. Yeah. So went and bought a new battery, fired right up, drove it home, pulled up multimeter, gave it a test to see if it was a battery or the alternator, and unfortunately it's the alternator. Alternator fried, and then just me driving it around without noticing it, not paying attention, drained my battery. It's just 12 years old, so once it was drained, it's like, nope, I'm done. So new battery. Today I put in a new alternator. Works like a champ once more. Took me about an hour to get that done. Hardest part for me was getting the serpentine belt back on. Because running my chubby little hot dog hands down between the fan and everything, trying to get that belt back in place where it was. Pulling the tensioner thing over was a pain in the butt. That took me longer than the actual pulling out of the alternator and putting in the new one in. Go figure. But my little truck is back up and running once more. And I'm going to drive that thing until I can't drive it anymore. If I have a major breakdown, something huge internal goes on it, Yep, it's done. But an alternator and a battery aren't that big of a deal. So, except for the cost. Batteries here in Oregon, I don't know how they are you guys, but it was $110 for the battery and $170 for a remanufactured alternator. The cheap alternator was $170. That was ouch. Auto parts prices, I tell you, they've gone sky high in recent years. I remember back when I was a teenager driving junker trucks, you know, oh, something gave out, you go to the store. Oh, that'll be $29.99 for your alternator, and a new battery is pretty much the same cost. It was about $30 back then. You know, nowadays, yeah, it's going to cost you $200, $300 by the time it's all done. Yeah. Oh well, at least I know how to work on most things on my truck. You know, if it gets something interior, the engine, pistons, rings, stuff like that, that's beyond me. But changing out alternators and sensors and stuff like that, yeah, it's no problem for me. But yeah, that little truck, my father-in-law had it, and then when my mother-in-law passed away and he moved out of the area, he left it behind, signed it over to me. It was his hope maybe to come back someday and live in the area, but that's not going to happen. He's got dementia setting in, so anyway. Yeah, I'm up here doing a review. Be down in a little bit. Yep, I'm up here hiding. Sorry about that. My wife just got back from work. Where are you? Well, if I'm not in the house, odds are I'm up here. Yeah. This one, nice sweet tea flavor. It's got sweetness to it. I'm not really feeling anything from the B3 Nicamide thing. Like I said, your mileage may vary on this thing. I don't know. But if you're looking for something with mouthfeel and flavor, not bad. These things, they're not cheap. They're like $6 or $7 a can. There are cheaper alternatives out there, but this one here has really good flavor. So you got that trade-off. Anyway, Outlaws Southern Sweet Tea, sweet tea, mouthfeel. For the Nick Safe stuff, it doesn't really do anything for me. Like I said, your mileage may vary for some people. I see some of the reviews. Oh wow, this stuff's great. For me, it's like, yeah, it's a flavor and mouthfeel type of thing. No tobacco, no nicotine, just flavor and mouthfeel. Outlaws Southern Sweet Tea. If you enjoy the content, be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. I'll throw some links down below when I get around to it. I got a Patreon page, which is my backup measure for if and when YouTube decides to clamp down on tobacco channels again, which they seem to do from time to time. But all in all, decent product. Not too bad. If you're looking for an alternate with no tobacco, no nicotine, might be worth checking out. Anyway, I will catch you all later with another dip, chew, snooze, snuff, or alternate product review. Until next time, y'all take care. Call your brother and sisters. Call your siblings. You know, you never know. Today might be your last day on earth. So you need to call them and tell them that they're ugly one more time before it's over. Yep. Catch you later.